If you're wondering which automakers are doing the best when it comes to EV sales and therefore probably the least likely to have massive financial problems over the next couple of years, here's the chart. Here's what percentage of EVs are being sold by each brand. This is really interesting. It's really interesting because it shows you just how bad Mazda and Toyota are doing. In fact, Mazda and Toyota's numbers are absolutely shocking. And when you see this chart, it's going to blow your mind. It blew my mind. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. If you're coming to the auto show, the Electrify Everything in Sydney in February, between the 9th to the 11th of February, I have a discount code for 20% off. And I'll put the code in the description below. I'd love to see you there. These numbers are a bit of a surprise because the company selling the highest percentage of EVs, outside, of course, of Tesla, Rivian, Lucid that only sell EVs, is actually Audi. 12.7% of all the vehicles that Audi sold in the third quarter of 2023 in America were fully electric. Now, if we have a look at the absolute polar inverse, the opposite to that, we have Mazda. These numbers are kind of surprising, but it shows you that the Mazda MX-30, the electric car that Mazda has been selling in the United States, it's now officially dead. So you can see here there's zero sales for Mazda. 0% of all of Mazda sales in America were electric. Not really a big surprise considering the comments we've heard from Mazda, from their CEO. They say that they want to perfect the internal combustion engine. They've said that this year on numerous occasions. Their mission is to perfect internal combustion. Their mission is certainly not electric cars. They hope that Toyota can make some electric cars for them. They'll rebrand them as Mazdas. They've said that publicly within the last few days. Mazda are completely screwed. Mazda are in so much trouble, it's not funny. I actually believe the most likely outcome for Mazda is a Chinese car brand, maybe Geely, possibly SAIC, not sure. One of them, though, will buy Mazda. It'll buy the scrap of the, it'll buy, not the scraps, but it'll buy the brand. Will it take on the debt? Will Mazda just go bankrupt? Probably. But, you know, that's probably going to happen by the time we get to, say, 2029, 2030. And Mazda won't be in a position to receive any bailouts from the Japanese government because they'll be too busy bailing out all the other rest of the Japanese automotive industry. As you can see here, if you don't believe those comments, you think that's hyperbolic, well, this is sort of some evidence of the Japanese automakers and what they think about electric cars. They think nothing. They think, well, we'll make a few and we'll just pretend like we're taking it seriously. That's what they're doing. Toyota, 0.5% of all vehicles they sold in the third quarter were electric. GMC, 0.8%. Bit disappointing with GMC. Bit disappointing General Motors. They've decided to pause EV production for GMC. Next, Subaru, 1.7%. Those are the Subaru Solterra. Lexus was next, 1.9%. Nissan, 3%. And Kia, 3.1%. Then, of course, you've got Chevy doing slightly better, but still pretty badly, 3.5%. Ford, 4.4%. BMW, 6.6%. Hyundai, 8.3%. Not too bad. Cadillac, 8.5%. Volvo, 9.5%. Volvo, though, will be selling a lot of EVs over the next few years. They're planning on being EV only in many countries worldwide in 2026 and EV only everywhere worldwide in 2030. Porsche, 10.3%. Mercedes, 11.6%. And Volkswagen, 12.2%, which leaves us with Audi at the top with 12.7%. I think the key point here that I took away from this is, number one, Japanese automakers are dead in the water. They are finished. Even in America, I know you're seeing sales now. You think, well, you know, they're selling lots of internal combustion vehicles now. Then, you know, surely it's game over. They're too far behind. It's a joke. You can see here how far they are behind. And they are so far behind. When you look at the numbers here on an S-curve or something like that, it is just ridiculously bad. But what is really surprising to me when you think about it is just how far behind Audi, Volkswagen, Mercedes, Porsche, Volvo, Cadillac, and Hyundai and BMW are. Even them, only 1 in 10 cars they're selling right now, best case scenario, 1 in 10 are fully electric. If you compare that position to a company like Tesla, like Rivian, well, that's a dire situation. It's, in fact, incredibly dire. Realistically, what was the problem with, say, a company like BlackBerry? Their phones were okay. People still wanted to buy mobile phones. People at the time that BlackBerry was doing well thought they were great. They had their own ecosystem, their own network. Their founders made billions of dollars. Yeah, we all thought they'd be fine. But they weren't. They went extinct. And it happened very, very fast. What is the problem with companies like Nokia? They sell smartphones. Not very good ones, but they sell smartphones. And yet they're pretty much a non-existent company when it comes to technology in comparison to what they used to be. What about Kodak? What happened to Kodak? Well, that's what I'm seeing here with this list. I'm seeing Kodaks, I'm seeing Nokias, I'm seeing companies that might still exist by 2030, but they'll be a fraction, a minuscule fraction of what they are today in terms of their sales. Toyota and Nissan, of course, Subaru and Mazda. Clearly, these sales here in America are representative of the EV sales, not just in America, but also in Europe and China and globally. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with me? Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.